Hello everyone, my name is Sutton the Wolf, and welcome back to Memories Dogma Code 1. We just have been having a very nice moment where Sodano and everyone are trying to reassure Arena, and it's bringing up a lot of stuff. It's getting to the point for me where I'm starting to relate to this a little bit. It's like, because everyone has those moments in their life where they messed up. They did something, they had good intentions, but they bollocksed it up in some way, and things turned out for the worst. Like, that's happened to me in my life, and I'm sure most of you watching at home have had some kind of situation like that. It's just part of life. Those things happen. No one's perfect. And Reina's having that situation here where she can't cope with the fact that she feels like it's her fault. And part of it is her fault, but it's not like she shouldn't shoulder the entire burden, That's the kind of lesson that's being taught here, and I feel like it's a very important one for people to learn. But looks like something's about to happen. We're going to see what it is. Thank you, everyone. Her expression brightens just a little. I know it's not an easy thing to accept all at once. Instead of regretting what you could have or should have done, it's more important to think about how to do better from now on. It's easy to understand that in my head. I'm glad that we had a nice moment there. I probably could have done that last episode, but I was worried that something was going to happen. That's part of this game's pacing. I think I mentioned at the end of last episode, this game is kind of slow. And I feel like it's meant to be played slowly. Because the pacing of this game, I feel, is very good. I love the pacing to where we have these long, emotional moments in between the action that make you care about these characters. And too many games will have, action after action after action, and there's just no relief. And in this game, there's, all this heavy stuff. You can't afford to just drag people through that constantly. And, have this character die, or this character get injured, and, all of this scandal, happening all at once. You need to take a break every once in a while for some relief, be it comedic, be it emotional, some kind of stress relief. And I feel like this game does that through these moments of bliss. Like with this, when we're in Sodano's room. And before, when we were in the truck, all eating a meal and, reminiscing and having a funny time with each other. Moments like that are needed in these kinds of games. And I give so many props out to this game for doing that properly. I love it. But still, we're faced with a reality we don't want to accept. So we can't stop thinking about the things we weren't able to prevent from happening. However, it looks like Sodano's words are at least able to give Arena some peace. I'm a little relieved, and also a little surprised. The way Sodano talked to Arena was so human. When you call her name, she responds with her usual gentle smile. I keep forgetting this isn't the real Sodano sitting here next to me. But at the same time, I'm constantly reminded that she's nothing but an amalgamation of data. Why did Sodano say we shouldn't meet anymore back then? If I could just find the answer to that question, I might be able to accept that she's no longer alive. No, maybe I won't be able to even then. I might just end up regretting not saying anything to her even more, and blame myself all over again. Even then, I need to know. Now then. Kakadu takes his laptop out of his bag. Hey, you're still injured. You need to rest. It's fine. Besides, no one but me can do this anyway. Oh, come on. I'm sure if you taught me, even I could. Just let me do this. Kakadu obstinately refuses to hand over his laptop. I'm sure Kakadu's wrestling with his own thoughts too. So I decided to let him be. And besides, even though I was gonna say even I could do it, I already know it's not something I can learn so quickly. There's something I want to reconfirm. Kakadu, do you mind pulling up all the reports that have my name on it? Okay, so we're getting back to the business side of things here. You got it. I can't get them all because I wasn't able to download them all, but I can bring up all the ones I've already got downloaded. Kakadu brings up an AR display with his MRD. Shows a bunch of square icons. Kakadu operates his MRD, and the icons are replaced by a list of files. In list view, you can see all the file extensions and the last modified dates of the files. In addition, you can see the file names along with the date and something that looks like an ID. You know, I'm wondering if they just put Reina's name on it to frame her. Like, I wonder if it was like a fallback plan to have Reina's name on them. And then, so she could be blamed, and then Hiroki was just a convenient person to loop in as an accomplice. Like, I feel like that's what's going on here. And I wonder if we're going to look at, like, something about these files and see, like, oh, the date it was modified was, like, long after something like this would have happened, and so they just added my name to it afterwards to make it look like something happened. I'm wondering if that's going to be what happened. My guess would be that it would be something along the lines of they were doing the research, and then something went wrong, and Reina had left because she found out what was going on, and then something bad happened, and so then they were just like, all right, Reina's on the run, we're going to put her name on it and make it sound like it's her fault, and that we didn't do anything wrong. I feel like that might be what's going on here. Did I miss that line? I don't know, they said something about, like, an ID. Is this all the experiment reports? Mostly, but there's some emails and text files in there too. I really need to organize all this. Ah, crap. Cut them off. Thanks, Kakadu. I'm gonna take a look through these. Reina starts scrolling through the files, briefly checking their contents. She then sorts them by file name and opens up a few of them to read. Reina's mouth starts moving soundlessly as she reads through them. She looks shocked at some parts and frowns at others. The specific kind of AR display Reina's reading on right now is called a display sleeve. It doesn't let people behind the display see its contents, so I can't read what's going on. Judging from Reina's expression and the kinds of experiments we already read about, though, it doesn't look like much fun to read anyway. Eventually, Reina breathes a long sigh, stretches a bit, and brings up an AR display with her own MRD. Reina keeps a finger held on one of the files in Kakadu's AR display for a few seconds. The file she selected starts floating a bit above the other files. Reina moves her finger, and then the file follows it, leaving the AR display entirely. Reina then slides her finger back to her own AR display. The file splits in two, like a cell dividing, and the copied file slides into Reina's AR display. Then she takes her finger off the file and returns it to its original position in Kakadu's AR display. Reina repeats this process, copying a few more lines into her MRD. She stops halfway and asks Kakadu for a question, or asks him a question. Gosh, I'm like, doing voices like this, I'm still trying to figure out, like, how fast I should read things and like that. If you got any, like, recommendations for me, just let me know. Because I end up, like, flubbing over my words, because, like, I usually say process, and I accidentally said, like, process because I was reading really quickly. But, you know, I don't want to be, like, way too slow. He nods and brings up a virtual keyboard underneath his AR display, and starts typing on it. Suddenly, the list of files displayed shrinks. Whoa! Serious Reina-chan is so cool! Sodano looks at Reina with admiration. I guess it should be expected of someone who probably uses these things all the time for research, but Reina is really skilled with her fingers. Maybe it's because of all the accumulated fatigue, but my consciousness starts flickering in and out as I watch them work. Looks like Reina's not going to be done for a while. I guess I'll take a short nap. Oh boy. Practically dozing already, I close my eyes. Are we gonna have a dream? Oh, no? Hiro-kun! Hiro-kun! I hear someone call my name and I open my eyes. Sodano's in front of me. I fell asleep. Yeah, you fell asleep as soon as you closed your eyes. Looks like I'd completely passed out after closing my eyes. I feel like I haven't slept that peacefully in ages. You fell asleep so fast. I guess this is the real Oh, this is the real... Yeah, it should be this is. I guess this is the real power of someone from Planet Sleepyhead. Gosh, she's so cute! Man, he's like this all the time in college, too. You know, that's one thing I didn't really mention. Kakadu, well, I might have mentioned this early on in the playthrough, but, like, Kakadu and Hiroki and everyone, like, they're in college. That's kind of rare for visual novels, you know? Like, usually it's high school, and then on occasion you get middle school. It's not too often you get one about college, and I think that's really cool. It gives it a lot more of a mature vibe. I like it. I knew it! Being able to fall asleep under these circumstances means your body really needs it. What an optimistic way of looking at it. That's certainly a fresh viewpoint. I'm sorry, jeez. Nah, it took me longer than I thought to finish copying everything anyway, so it's better you got some rest. I checked the time on my MRD. Seems like about an hour has passed. So, how'd it go? Everything I found was a surprise. Let me organize everything before I tell you. Dana takes the notebook at her feet. She must have borrowed it from Sodano's room, and moves it so we all can see. We're going to find out what it says on the next episode, guys. We're having some short ones here. You know, I've been trying to juggle around, like, how short I want these episodes to be. But I want this to be... these to be a bit shorter because they're... You know, it's like I'm watching a show. You have, like, your filler episodes, you have your really action-packed videos, and I don't want to, like... I don't want to change the mood so swiftly in the middle of an episode as much. And so, I want to keep them shorter so that we can kind of get the mood of the scene, excuse me, within a few episodes, and then move on to what we're talking about here. Plus, you know, keeping the video short is more convenient for everyone involved. You know, it's easier for me to upload, and, you know, it's taking less time out of you guys' day. But if that's not really what you guys want, if you guys want me to make these a little bit longer, then by all means, please tell me. I'm open to all feedback. I haven't really gotten much feedback in terms of, like, video length. And so if you guys could tell me, like, either if this is good or if this is, like, something that I need to work on, if you have a recommendation, or even just leaving a like or a dislike, you know, that kind of thing helps a lot. Like, you know, you don't really think about it much. It's like, oh, this will get lost in, like, this internet, but, like, it really does go a long way, especially because I am a really small YouTuber right now. I don't have a very big channel, and so all of that feedback really does let me know. That little bit of feedback that I actually do get is a lot of what I decide these playthroughs around. And so with that, that is going to do it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. Please leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. Leave a like or dislike if you like or dislike this show. Please let me know your thoughts. I love to hear them. I will always read them, and I will always take them into account. And as always, I will see you guys next time for another episode of Memories Dogma Code 1.